View of gambling and gamblers. Well, if you're into gambling, if you are running a casino, you are going to be a rich man, because there's a lot of gamblers out there, and this is synonymous to stupid people. Gamblers don't seem to understand that the odds are against them, that in the long run they may get lucky one day or two, but in the long run they are going to lose their shirt. And but I don't want to pick on all gambling. It's mostly the slot machines that I got a problem with. It's because those computer programs, I'm a programmer, so I know how to make a game. I could easily make a slot machine game that's designed to give you only 70% odds of winning. In other words, you're going to lose. You're going to lose a majority of the time. And like blackjack is, I think that's a pretty fair game. I think the way they've got it going, the house is, it's like 98% or 97%. So your chance of losing is only like 3%. So it turns out that I've actually at blackjack I'm ahead. I think considerable. I don't think I've barely lost at blackjack. I also know when to get out, but it seems like I have a little bit of luck or something going my way. But that's precisely the philosophy which gets people to continue to go back to these casinos, is this idea in which, hey, I won once, so I can win again. And I suppose in some sense I should go back more often, based on the fact that I win mostly at blackjack. I just choose not to, because I just feel that, well, I don't know, I'm just not a gambler. I'm just not. I do gamble with my court cases. I consider it an investment to get back large sums of money, and unfortunately, I think I'm at 0% on that gamble. So maybe I should stick to blackjack. It appears to be more successful at blackjack, but I just feel this court thing. I just feel that there's this, that's my motivation. At these casinos, you'll see on the wall a picture of somebody that says won $29,000 and hit the big jackpot. And you'll see those signs. They advertise the winning people, and there's a few. But what they're not advertising is the many, and that is the people that have lost their house or something pretty severe. And that's the trick behind it. It's deception. I really don't respect. I guess I have to respect the actual institution, the casino itself, because they're just playing the game, and if people are stupid enough to walk in there and think that they're going to win a majority of the time, I guess it really comes down to the people are really stupid. And that is what the main point of this video is, that I just want to say that if the people are stupid, you walk into a casino and especially those people in slot machines, to understand that a computer program is weighing their odds. It's not nature anymore. It's a computer program. Walk in there and think that they're going to win. I mean, that is a stupid person. It really is stupid. And I don't know. I have a low respect for people on slot machines. That I don't know if I'd ever hire them. If I was ever be an employer, I'm not sure. Probably one of my evaluation questions would be, do you gamble on slot machines? And if they do, it's like, sorry, but you have no intelligence to be able to be hired here, you know. And an interesting thing about you'll hear people say, you know, they went to the casino and you ask them how they did. They said, well, I broke even or I won. They'll rarely ever say that they lost. And the whole reason why those casinos are so rich is because a majority of the people are losing. And they're losing, you know, the majority of the time. They're losing a majority of the time. So it makes the revenue so great at these casinos. I mean, if you own one of these things, you are very rich. So there's a lot of, once I hear a gambler, especially if you ask them, say, so have you won a majority of the time? And they say, yeah. You have to ask them what they're playing. Because I've won a majority of the time, and I'm playing blackjack. So I guess what I was going to say is that they're lying if they say they've won. Now if they're saying they're playing the slots and they win, they're a liar too. So that's an interview question that I would entertain. My mother got into gambling, sort of a pastime when the kids left the nest. You know, she wanted to pass the time, and she started gambling, and then she, you know, the penny machines, she was losing at that, so she figured she'd go to the quarter machines to get back the money, right? And then she'd lose more at that, and then she said, well, I need to go to the dollar machines to get back, I need to win at dollar machines to get back the money I lost previously, and she would lose at that even bigger, and then eventually get to the $5 ones. I think that was her max. You know, $5 a freaking, you know, every time. And she'd be putting this on credit card, and it wasn't telling Ernie, my father, about this until it got to a point where she had $39,000 on credit cards. Now, that puts me in a boat in which my inheritance comes from one of the stupidest people on the planet. That's my mom. And it doesn't make me proud that I have those genes in me. Sometimes I wonder if I'm even related to them, my parents. Sometimes, especially my mother. But to have this, and she still thinks that she can win. She still thinks, despite that, I've talked to her after that, she still thinks, well, yeah, it's win. You just got to have mind over matter. She thinks, well, you say, I can win, thus you do. And the track record indicates $39,000 that she's wrong, and yet she still continues to have this philosophy. And I try to pose her, you know, this slot machine thing. This is what she lost it on, was the slot machines. And, you know, I let her know that, you know, this is a computer program, and I could easily make a program to take your money from you, Kathy. And she still thinks that she can win. And that's what makes her really stupid. And it's just, it's just that kind of logic. It's just hard to, it's hard to debate because they're locked in a mode in which they think they're right and they have no idea. This is how I talk about women are kind of stupid. They have no idea how stupid they sound. And it's like a battle that I sort of can't win because it's a stalemate, because she has no idea just how stupid she is. Anyway, she had been hiding this from Ernie on the credit cards and was getting ready to run away when she decided to confess. And, you know, Ernie, being a really nice guy, you know, just, he had some money saved, and that's a considerable chunk of the savings that got put to that, paid off the bill, and somehow forgave her. And Kathy, luckily, really hasn't gone back to the casino. So she had control of it. I guess she's not in some aspect not an addict. She's just really stupid to think that she could have won this entire time. So, you know, Ernie, my father is just a real nice guy to forgive her. I'm not sure that I could have dealt with that. I'm not sure that would have. I don't. Sometimes I don't know how Ernie can live with her. Sometimes just not because of the gambling, because she doesn't make any sense sometimes, and likes to spend money willy-nilly sometimes. And Ernie's a tightwad, so it's kind of a yin and a yang that balances out. But Kathy can be really stubborn as far as what she thinks. If you you know, want to go to a casino, I'm not saying that you're stupid. I just and it's mostly just the slots. But just be wary, because the odds are against you to like at least 1%, and you know, stick to the nature odds, ones that like blackjack and now poker at the casino. Now they take a cut of the pot every time, so that's a losing battle there. The blackjack is pretty fair. I think maybe I haven't really seen roulette tables, but I believe the odds are not too bad there. The dice games, the craps, I'm not, like I say, I'm not sure. But let nature determine your odds. Don't let a computer program determine your outcome. Also, I've seen these poker machines. I've seen these kind of a poker. It's a 3-card poker at the kind of like the blackjack tables, and it's encased in a really dark tinted box. And I would just be suspect of that, because they could easily have rigged cards back there that would set the deck up, you know. So be careful in which you have computerized things, perhaps setting up the deck and taking away your natural odds. Things like that. Be careful, because again, the odds are against you. At best, the odds are against you slightly. And if you can beat them, then go for it. You know, I stick to blackjack, and I guess I'm ahead, so I guess you can do it too, and I guess that's why a lot of people go there. Yeah, just be careful when you go there, and stay away from those slot machines. Here in Minnesota, they've had this debate whether they should, you know, put a casino at downtown Minneapolis there to, you know, to add revenue to the state. You know, figure instead of the Indians getting the money, you know, have the state get those revenues and you know, for state use. And I'm guessing that the Indians got lobbyists that basically shoot that down every time. It's really not a good thing. I guess I'm for that. I'm for that, because if there's stupid people out there that want to gamble, then I say put it to better use. Don't put it in the pockets of a few Indians who can somehow have their own laws in which gambling's legal, and they collect all sorts of money and don't give back to the state, I don't think. So I say if people want to pump money into a losing cause, I say put it to good use and pay some bills for the state. But again, where you have a few people making laws in this world, you have a lot of lobbyists, probably paid by the Indians, to shut down those laws, to keep that law from enacting, so that and it's just how the lobbying works. It's too bad that's how it works. I'm pretty sure that if people could vote on that issue, I think they would authorize gambling. You know, there is some side effects to gambling, that people lose their home, and then there's crime, and so that's kind of what deters the people from, you know, a casino near their place, or it's just people losing their home. It's just, I guess if you have just a few casinos in your state, then it makes it difficult for them to travel to that casino to lose their home. So I guess that's sort of a, if the delivery vehicle for losing your home is far away, I guess not as many homes will be lost and not as much crime as a result of gambling. But I just recommend that states would pass that, because there's where there's a will, there's a way, and if people want to gamble their money away, they'll just gamble it away. There's all kinds of offshore gambling with PokerStars.net. I play that, and if, like I say, if people want to bet, they're going to find a way. If people want to blow their money, they will do it. And why put your money in some offshore place? Why not keep it at home and legalize gambling at the country, for your country, for your state? So I've tried to play PokerStars.net with real money. I couldn't ever get my credit card to authorize, because it's an offshore institution that was trying to authorize it. So I just play for free at the PokerStars.net, and it's just as fun to me, and I get, it's a good pastime for me. Like I say, I don't do much gambling, and anyways, that about wraps that up. I recommend do not gamble, but if you do, just be careful about just be careful of your odds, and make sure that your odds are natural, and stay away from the slot machines, and oh, I guess I should talk a little bit about the gambling on sports and stuff, and I guess, yeah, it's fits a similar boat. I know a guy that Bill, this guy on my website at the top, lost. He spends $100 on a game, and he loses every game, and he loses a shirt, and is asking me for money and stuff, and that was just horrible, man. To see a gambler asking for money, it's just really a tough spot. But those, again, the odds are in the house, in favor of the house every time. So just keep in mind that if you know, that you can beat the odds. It's just, I think that's a fairly fair system too. They give you a point spread on say a basketball game, and if you beat the spread, then you win. So I think that's fair, and I think that's gives you, gives the house probably 3% odds of winning, 97%. So 97% to you and 3% to them. But you can beat those odds, and and many people have done it. So I think it's a fair system there. I think that's about the end of this. Yeah. So one little last tidbit on the sports gambling is that, again, let nature, as long as you know that nature is in control of the outcome, I say go for it. But there's been, sometimes you wonder if it's rigged, if the actual outcome of the game is rigged, via whether it's officiating. I've seen, I guess there was this NBA ref that came forward and said he was, basically he could ref a game that would be harder on some of the opponents, so on some of the players, and that would have an outcome on the score. So you have to when the human factor is involved in the outcome of nature, it makes it a little bit it skews it a little bit, and so you have to be careful about sports betting. Who knows? Maybe even people are dropping games on purpose. Players are even, based on outcome. So it's hard to know whether that's occurring. It's kind of like the stock market. If you're not in control of all the inputs that are on your hand, if you're not in control of the outcome, if nature's not in control of the outcome, then it makes it suspicious. And I guess I should talk about gambling, the Wall Street stuff, because it is similar to that. Wall Street is like gambling. They those bets on the housing, those, what's it called, that all those mortgages and stuff were shorts, they call them, or basically bets that your house would fail. People were betting that your house would fail, and somehow they're able to do this. And the thing is that the insiders, that are in control of the game, they're the ones having input, and they're betting knowing what they can perform on the game. So I don't know why people put money in the stock market. It's rigged. That's something I would not trust money to be put in, is the stock market. And similarly, if game outcomes, if basketball game outcomes are skewed because of referees or players are taking a dive, that's something to be concerned about if you want to bet the odds. But yeah, I guess I should mention that stock market thing, because that's definitely gambling with your money. And yeah, it's a bad system there, because there's insiders that have control of all that stuff, and they say that there's laws that prevent insider trading, but it's rigged. It's rigged big time. People, I guess they have right in New York, right where the hub for the stock exchange is computerized, set to initiate stock orders, buying and selling literally in microseconds. And when you're competing with that, that's like I say, I don't know why people bet the stock market. It's not fair to the regular person. Only fair thing I've seen is blackjack, and that's at least you got natural odds with that, assuming they're not stacking the deck somehow when they're shuffling it, but I don't think they are. So